this. Don't be misled by the fact that millionaires are happy. I mean, the media should tell you that. Millionaires are not happy. They're always looking for more and more and more. Rothschilds or whoever it was dying off. They were like, why did you keep going? You had so much money. Like, why did you keep going, for more? And what they said to them was, we just wanted a little more.
Mm-hmm.
They're very greedy people. They have to, it's not just money. Don't forget, they don't just go after money so that they can sit around and, enjoy looking at money. No, they're going after money to buy influence, to climb up in the political spectrum. And they have people who feed them a lot of foolishness because they are politicians, and that's why those in Washington do not know what's going on. Right? That's a common statement, but a lot of people did not learn the realities. So, but if you look at, he starts by saying mental health is serious in this comment. You came to the Islamic Center very unstable and verbally rambling. More than a few people came up to me, and I'm helping him out, because that's a correction, came up to me after you led Salah, and the next day, very concerned and confused about your bizarre actions and speech while you was there. Oh, okay. Yes, I said we are in need of more teachers, and at our meeting, you said you were only interested in helping certain individuals. Then you have in parentheses, African Americans, because they need the most help, 3 question marks. End of parenthesis. What you are offering wasn't needed or acceptable for the structure of the program. Upon conclusion of our meeting, your services was not needed. Yes, we have not known each other for quite a while. No. If you have real questions or concerns, you could have contacted me directly. It seems you are more concerned about trying to cause fitna and entertaining an audience. I see you are finding satisfaction in the direction that you are going. End quote. That's the actual end of it.
Okay, so false accusation. And so what's that all?
Oh, well, it wasn't the last. Oh, he actually contradicted himself, because at 2 minutes later, after I responded, I said, excellent, Mr. President, please stay tuned. Barakallahu fikum. This is what I said. His last statement was, after that, was, our parents have always told us not to argue with a fool. So, yeah, that you're speaking for a lot of people there. Us and I'm A, right? So now, if you come back and you zoom back over here, where, let's say, you said at the beginning, my last statement. But it wasn't your last statement, was it? Your last statement was not to argue with a fool. So, yeah, you said false accusation. Mental health. Let's talk about the mental health. Is that something you think is completely a false accusation? Does he have some case there, at least some way of wiggling around that one?
No.
Okay. And why do you say that?
He don't have no case. But you just making, what do you do? I mean, you gotta make it out, you gotta back up what you say. You gotta prove what you say. You just can't say stuff without proof.
All right. Now, let me tell you something, okay? I have a nephew who just got out of, who still is really on a social mental institution program. He's my nephew. My brother, that's my brother's son who was in the Army, a veteran of the U.S. Army, okay? Had he said that to that individual, and we met up on terms of our liking, this man would be at fault. He would really be at fault for making these type of false statements, or even if it's true. This is the way you're supposed to treat, people who are disadvantaged. So this already says one thing about what he believes. And he's going to say, no, I had a heart foundation. If we go to the court records and your brother, we'll find out exactly what the deal is behind that. So stay tuned on that too. So he says, again, that is false. But I'd like to know in this first paragraph where he says that if you came, if somebody came and I was the president of an Islamic center, or I was just, an administrator there, and somebody came unstable that I know, they were verbally rambling, how is it that you, took them through the classes with kids in them? Okay? You took them to class everywhere, then brought them to your office, which you're later on going to admit that you had a meeting there. The meeting didn't take any place else in the office, okay? But then you claim that more than a few people came up to you after I led the salah, after your shooter led the salah. Okay. Earlier, in a statement from yesterday, you said you were the only one willing to work with me. So how did I get to lead the salah? Was the resident imam there? Salah is actually not my thing to lead. That's the problem. And the next day, very concerned and confused about your bizarre actions and speech while you was there. Okay. Yes, go ahead. Bizarre actions and speech. What do you say to that?
Well, that's his accusation.
So it's up to him to.
Just make up a lie. You just, like I say, it just sounds like a setup to me. That's what it sounds like. The whole thing sounds like a setup.
Well, we're gonna know why it's a setup. We're gonna know why it's a setup in a minute because we already found out. I'll let you know. So then he admits, now he's got to start admitting to things by saying, yes, I said we are in need of more teachers. And so this means that when we spoke on the phone, this has to be meaning the phone conversation because you added and at our meeting. We couldn't be talking about all this. And there's a long, lengthy conversation. I'm going to have to go back to it and see how long it was. But we have great record of what the meeting was about, Mr. President. You said you were only interested in helping certain individual. He doesn't even have an S at the end of it. That's how big of a liar he's, that's how deceiving this is. Certain individual. So, no individuals, right? But here, you give you the benefit of the doubt. African Americans, because they need the most help, ? 3 question marks. Then he goes on to say, what you will offer.
He just made that up all together.
Listen. I gave him a range of students. Students who were deprived, whether it was financially, whether it was socially, whether it was discriminatorily, as in the case of African Americans. Okay? And I mentioned to him, I am not asking for a single dime from you or their parents. But let's continue on. He doesn't say any of that, but he has question marks. And that was clarified because the Latifi Brigade were there. What you were offering wasn't needed or acceptable for the structure of the program. Right? So that's insulting the intelligence, I guess, of himself because I'm sorry, everybody needs free education. Education is meant to be free. That's why Allah Ta'ala revealed it. So what
you offering wasn't needed, because you got a lot of poor people can't even.
Listen, just check out the Al Madina school. Check out the Al Madina school.
All rich people, you know what I mean? They don't need no free education. You can pay it. Just give me a price, I'll pay it. Whatever. I don't care what you say. We don't really need it. That's what he's saying. He said it's not needed.
Well, let's talk a little bit. Let's speak a little bit about that one statement. Because, when lies, you got to be able to really dissect the lie in each statement. What you were offering, first of all, the Quran is not mine, my friend. What I have of the Quran, I didn't give it to myself. What the hell is your problem? But we will get to that. What you are offering. I'm not offering anything. I have no ability. You think you have something? You do that until the day of judgment, we will see. Wasn't needed or acceptable by who you? Okay, let's talk about you and your staff for a minute. You have absolutely no command of the Arabic words. You are not able to spell the word, you kept butchering the saying of Allah Jalla Jalalu. You should be ashamed of yourself for that. But those that you have there, we also know of them very well. They're going to, help back you up eventually, I hope so. But upon conclusion of our meeting, your services were not needed. Now let's go on to the next one. He has to say yes again. We have known each other for quite a while. If you have real questions or concerns, you could have, like, you can't call me no more. Not to mention, he's like an individual, who has his, machine stacked up and then, nobody can actually reach him. This is the individual. This is the individual that puts a flyer out about a Quranic program without anybody's phone number. And then when it's pointed out to him, even your phone number is not there, Mr. President. Guess what he says? Guess what he says?
What?
I don't want my number to be known by everybody.
Oh, yeah. But everybody else can put their number.
Well, eventually, he had to change that because that's just not right. But anyway, let's move on. So he says, we have known each other for quite a while. It seems you are more concerned about trying to cause fitna and entertaining an audience. Oh, I'm sorry. He did use an Arabic word here. Otherwise, I don't see no mention of Allah, no Bismillah, his last statement. But the fitna, I'm glad he uses the fitna term. Mr. President, can you tell us about the last fitna? Can you use this word fitna in an Arabic sentence is my question. And all you got to do really is just to bring maybe one other word that you can know. But anyway, I'm not here, to point out people's actual faults. That's not the purpose. The